So two things I want to bring to your attention regarding that sex offender murder-suicide, mass murder-suicide in Oklahoma. Every day we've been getting new information, new evidence unveiled. And no, not thank you because of the police, because of family members who were forced to do their own investigation when the police just kind of walked away and left a trove of evidence behind in this convicted sex offender's home, convicted sex offender and mass murderer. So now the exclusive details we're learning is about that ledger that was found and turned over by the police, turned over to the police by the family. Ledger had names and dates on it. I've got the information on what some of those names and dates were. And also new today is that the police are finally giving us a statement, but don't hold your breath. It's very frustrating. 10 days of silence basically yielded a statement that was lengthy on paper and basically hollow in information. Super frustrating, in fact, because much of it basically was just a complaint about the media and that there's misinformation out there. And yet you would think if that was their complaint, they would clear up the misinformation. No can do. Not even going to tell you that they're not going to do it. They're just not going to do it. They're not going to clear up whatever they're saying is misinformation. They're just leaving the mystery out there. While at the same time, ladies and gentlemen of America, please, they ask, help us in our investigation. I'm sorry, I don't know what that means. You want the public's help, but you will not face the public or give them a news conference or any updates. You'll just give this piece of paper that says there's misinformation, the media is wrong, and nothing else to see here. Really aggravating. And the thing that bothers me most is that they say this. We're not going to update you or clear up the misinformation because this is an active and ongoing investigation. There could be more perpetrators and victims. Well, thank you, Jesus, because I've been saying that for the last week. You should be doing your job and investigating because there could be more perpetrators and victims. Well, now it's on paper, and I guess they agree. And that's why they won't talk to us. But that's a far cry from what the investigator in the home said to the grieving family members who were begging him to bag up evidence and take it seriously. They begged him. Here it is. Look for yourself.
Their job wasn't done. They didn't do their job.
It's clear.
They didn't do their job, and the whole world's going to know it.
What would this accomplish?
I'm a grieving parent that my daughter got raped and murdered, and you're telling me right now that I don't have a right to know what happened? The story's right here. It's right here. And it's still sitting here.
Well, the statement was, while the OSBI is aware there is information circulating that does not represent the investigative facts, we will not attempt to address each aspect of the miscommunication. They said that they have been communicating with the families. Well, guess what? The families are the only place we've been getting the information. So I don't know what you think is misinformation, but it would really be great if you could sort that out. You know, just do us a solid. The other information I wanted to give you tonight is names and dates on that ledger. This was troubling because we don't know all of them. We do have a family member that told us there were a number of names in Holly's writing with dates beside them. And now we can tell you some of the names. Holly was one of the names, and we assume that's Holly McFadden. Caitlin, possibly Caitlin Babb, who was the underage girl who he sexted with while in prison, and he was about to stand trial for that. And then Jesse McFadden's mother and grandmother are also on the list. It's unclear what the dates actually represent on the list, but at least one of the dates matches a person's birthday. So I'm not sure whether that's going to be evidence that pertains to the crimes in that house or not, but it still seems to be a bit of a mystery. I want to bring in Phil Waters now. Phil spent 23 years as a homicide detective at the Houston Police Department, investigating more than 400 cases. Phil, I am tearing my hair out about this comment that there's misinformation out there. Big, long, 3-page statement. Misinformation, but we're not going to clear it up. This is after it was the media and the shaming, the public shaming, that got police in to do the investigation in the first place.
Well, it's great to be back with you, Ashleigh. I tell you, I have kind of a personal connection to this. I grew up in Tulsa, Oklahoma, which is about an hour north of Henrietta. And I'm familiar with the area. It's a sparsely populated county. And I tell you what, I am dismayed when I hear these types of reports coming out of an investigation of this magnitude, I contrast it with the University of Idaho murders. And in this particular case, I would tell you that if only half of what the family is sharing, it's horrific in terms of law enforcement's response or lack of response. And I've got to tell you, I just think that the inexperience, perhaps, of the original agency involved in this, which I'm assuming is the county sheriff's office.
You know what, Phil? I have to cut it there because I just realized we're have an earlier end of show. My apologies. I'm having you back because I want to hear what you have to say.